Welcome to The Healing Truth with Dr. Cassandra Thomas. Today I want to use for a title, Mary Thomas Street, a legacy of courage, sacrifice, and love. Today is June 8th, and my mother would have been 102 years old today. Her name was Mary Ellis Liddell Thomas. And today I find myself smiling and grieving at the same time. Smiling because I was blessed to have a mother who was strong, courageous, intelligent, and deeply committed to her family and her community. But grieving because every celebration of my mother now also reminds me that my son is gone too. My son passed away only 3 months before my mother passed away in 2023. So today my heart is holding both joy and sorrow at the same time. My mother was more than just my mother. She was a business owner, an educator, a civil rights leader, a woman of faith, a woman raising 6 children of her own while also raising 3 of her deceased sister's children. During the civil rights movement in Mississippi, she became the first Black woman in Humphreys County, Mississippi, to register to vote. Now, think about that for just a moment. Becoming the first Black woman in Humphreys County to register to vote during the civil rights movement in the 1960s. Now, think about it for a moment. A Black woman in Mississippi in the 1960s. That was not just bravery. That was dangerous. She spent a night in jail because she believed our voices mattered. She marched, she protested, she housed and fed civil rights workers who came from the North, and somehow she still came home every night and raised children. My mother's courage came with a cost. Because of her involvement in the civil rights movement, she eventually lost her grocery store business. Yes, the same woman who opened the doors to civil rights workers and stood up for voting rights experienced what so many Black families experienced during that time. And that's called retaliation. And just like that, life changed. But my mother did what strong women often do. She adjusted, she reinvented herself, and she kept moving forward. She became instrumental in helping form and develop the first Head Start program in Belzoni, Mississippi, helping children and families at a time when many people in our community desperately needed support and opportunity. She worked as a social worker at Head Start until retirement. And even after that, she continued serving as the director of a daycare center before fully retirement. In 2022, the former mayor of Belzoni officially declared June 8th as Mary Thomas Day. That same year, our street name was changed from January Street to Mary Thomas Street in her honor on that same day, actually. And we celebrated with a parade and a community celebration. So today, our family will gather around the Mary Thomas Street sign for a balloon release in her memory. One of the most beautiful things I remember about my mother was how proud she was to witness the election of President Barack Obama. She had pictures of Barack, Michelle everywhere. Books, memorabilia, photographs, even magnets and stamps on the refrigerator of Barack and Michelle Obama. She was so very proud. And now that I'm older, I realize why that moment meant so much to her. Because she had lived long enough to witness change. She had lived long enough to see doors open that had been nailed shut for Black people in America. And I know without question that without her sacrifice, my life would have looked very different. Without women like my mother fighting for voting rights, educational opportunities, and equal access, I may never have become a nurse. I may never have gone to medical school. I may never have become a physician. You see, her sacrifice created opportunities, not only for her children, but for all Black children that did not exist before women like her stood up and demanded change. My mother was so proud of all of her children, but I remember how especially proud she was when I graduated from nursing school and later medical school. And now that I look back, I understand that my success represented more than just a degree to her. It represented progress. It represented possibility, answered prayers, and proof that her sacrifices meant something. I can also see something I probably could not fully appreciate when I was younger. My mother never allowed hardship to stop her from serving others. And maybe that is where I get it from. Because when I look at my own life, the successes, the losses, the public pain and shame, the rebuilding, I now recognize that resilience was living in front of me all along. One thing I am learning on this healing journey is that healing does not mean you no longer feel sadness. Healing means learning how to carry both gratitude and grief at the same time. Today, I am celebrating my mother's life while also grieving the loss of my son. And somehow both emotions are sitting in the same place inside my heart. For a long time, I thought healing meant arriving at a place where the tears stopped. But now I understand that healing is sometimes allowing yourself to remember, to cry, to smile, to celebrate, and still keep living. Sometimes healing is simply telling the truth about what your life has really been. And today, the truth is this: I miss my mother. I miss my son. But I am grateful that love allowed me to have them both. Today, we will release balloons on Mary Thomas Street, a street named after a woman who once could have been denied the right to even cast a vote on that same soil. And every time I pass that street sign, I am reminded that ordinary people can have extraordinary footprints. My mother did not have millions of dollars. She did not become famous, but she changed lives. She changed her community. She changed her children's future. And whether she fully realized it or not, she helped change history. And today, I simply want to say, happy 102 heavenly birthday, my dear. Your life mattered, your sacrifices mattered, and your legacy still lives on. This has been The Healing Truth with Dr. Cassandra Thomas. If this message has spoke to your heart, please like, share, and leave a comment. Thank you. Again, this has been The Healing Truth with Dr. Cassandra Thomas. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you so much.